Hi, this is Susie Boss, live from PBL World in beautiful Napa, California. And I'm delighted to be here with Stephen Ritz, who just knocked it out of the park with a keynote address this morning. He had the whole audience here, energized, audience of 500 or 600 folks. He's with Green Bronx Machine. And Stephen, I wonder if you could tell us a little bit about how your whole work and growing green in the Bronx, how it all got started.
Okay, well, as mentioned, I am CEO, Chief Eternal Optimist of Bronx County, and my job is literally to love kids and people until they learn to love themselves. So it starts with planting seeds, seeds of hope, seeds of opportunity, just working with people and meeting them where they're at to grow something greater. And literally, this was a program that started all by accident. I'm not a farmer. I'm not a scientist. I am none of the above. I'm just a real enthusiastic people person. I want to change the world, and remarkably found my niche by growing green. Because the beauty of plants is that they really do grow. You put them in the ground and they grow. They really, they don't need much, but don't tell my kids that because my kids think they're really responsible. And that was part of the talk about kids just taking responsibility and owning it, and they really do. And when kids learn to nurture, when they learn about nature, they learn to nurture. And when they learn to nurture, we all as a society, collectively, and as a school, embrace our better nature. And that's good for all of us.
Okay. So you've got this great, amazing program going now, but it didn't start as a great, amazing program. Can you share a little about how kind of...
It was an accidental success. Yeah. It was an absolute accidental success. I'm not a farmer. I'm an ex-athlete. I wasn't such a good athlete at that. But, it started with answering kids' questions about why certain things were happening, or why they were seeing plants growing on roofs and on the train tracks. And literally one year I took over a program. I had a lot of kids out of prison. Went from middle school to high school. I had some really difficult kids. And someone sent me this box of bulbs. I didn't know what they were. I, looked at it. I was like, I was like, they're going to throw these in. This was just not what I wanted in my classroom. I was normal. I didn't want this stuff in my class, so I hid it. I put it behind the radiator and forgot about it. Lo and behold, the steam from the radiator kind of forced the bulbs, and one day there was a fight in class, a big fight, big kids, and they go running behind the radiator looking for something, and all of a sudden there are hundreds of these beautiful yellow flowers. And it was like an aha, stop. It was like Ferdinand the Bull, stop and smell the roses, so to speak. And it just stopped everything, and the boys wanted to give them to girls for sex, and the girls wanted to sell them or give them to their moms, and we kind of had this aha moment that we could do this. Well, that year I planted with those kids 25,000 bulbs across New York City. I won the Golden Daffodil Award, and we gave birth to the Green Teen Program, just kids who were going around making a difference, who were apart from becoming a part of simply by planting seeds, harvesting hope, and cultivating minds, if you will. So it started slowly. And grew rather quickly.
And you, at the same time that you were planting things, you were also kind of cleaning up areas.
Right. We were taking, forlorn and unproductive places and turning them into highly productive, aspirational spaces. And that was critical. So places that were dumping grounds or areas that were known for illegal activity, we didn't go in there to arrest people. We went in there to arrest behaviors. So citizens loved my kids. And even if they were of different races or ethnicities or nationalities, we had a lot of gang kids. When they were coming together to do something productive for the better good of society, everybody loved it. And the kids were really embraced. And they went from being a part of, to being a part of. And they were welcomed with outstretched arms and really, big thank yous. And my kids really felt loved and valued. And then they developed work ethic and work skills. And people started employing them. And that was a great turnaround. You could come to school and get a job. And that was kind of cool.
Very cool.
And the kids felt good. For a lot of kids who were really successful failures, who have failed for so long, you can come and put in a good day's work and see that good day's work, so to speak, whether it's cleaning or demolition or landscaping, and really feel good about yourself and build on that success and then come back and take care of it. And again, I always say when kids learn about nature, they learn to nurture. And when they learn to nurture, we all embrace our better nature. And then other things changed. Graffiti went down. Vandalism went down. Property crime went down. It was great.
So benefits.
Yeah, it was a win-win-win.
Yeah. So, a lot of teachers will maybe get one project going, feel like a success, but they don't really know how to keep it going for the long term or grow it. So I wonder if you could talk about how you both sustained your program and how you've expanded it. What are some success tips?
The cool thing about growing food is it's a license to print money. So not only is it a ticket to good health, it's a license to print money, but you can eat it, and that's great. So there's always something to look forward to, and if you eat, well, guess what? You can eat again tomorrow. So inherently, that was kind of motivating because the kids acquired a taste for it, but they really acquired a taste for the program, which was great. But to your point, I do believe in keeping things manageable. So while this thing is big, and it's far bigger than I ever imagined, it really started by being exclusive. You know, I jokingly say I'm the benevolent dictator. The kids think they have 51% of the vote, but they only get 49. That last two, but it's all the illusion, so to speak. I'm the conductor of an orchestra. I can't play an instrument. So you keep it small, you keep it manageable. You know, you could have 10 or 12 kids to start. I always say that's too much because you'll be held accountable for the 1 or 2 who aren't involved. But if you have 4 or 5 and they really love each other and come together as a team, then they get really picky about that next one, and then that next one. And of course, don't forget the mandate of your day job. I mean, I always feel compelled to do what I need to do, what I want to do within the context of what needs to be done. So always be mindful of your daytime responsibilities. And I say that both as a teacher and as an administrator. You know, do what you're charged to do, but also do what you're paid to do. And then there's a triple bottom line. There's a multiplier effect, because if you do that and do it well, you're going to have incredible results.
Absolutely. And in terms of results, you really pay attention to things that are measurable as well as things that are less tangible.
Listen, I love teaching kids to count, but teaching them what counts is so much more important to me. But you can really teach kids to count by teaching them what counts. So some of the things, you know, I look at attendance, I look at test scores, I strand everything I do to Common Core. Number one, it makes the principal happy. And if the principal's happy, you as a classroom teacher are happy. And if the principal's happy, odds are the school district or your superintendent is happy. So it's really about getting to yes. You know, that's how do I move myself, my kids, my school, and my program into the proximal zone, the zone of proximal development. And how am I measuring it? How am I looking at it recursively? Like constantly deconstructing what I do. How can I make it better? How can I do it better? You know, I'm on that recursive cycle of self-improvement. Why, how, what? You know, what little tweak?
Which just fits again with the whole project-based learning approach of
progress, not perfection. You know, but how do you document it? And when kids are documenting, guess what they're doing? They're doing things that they never did before. And we're talking about it. You know, you can't plant with your hands closed.
And they're just metaphors throughout what you're doing. It's pretty incredible. And this morning you talked a lot about how the work that you're doing builds empathy, that kind of creative spirit, imagination. Do you want to talk about some of the kind of what you might call soft skills or harder to measure outcomes?
Well, what's really remarkable about farming is that everything has a season. So kids are learning that certain processes can't be rushed. So like, for example, they want to put the grow lights on 24 hours a day. You can't do that because the plants, like people, need to sleep. You know, we always, what's on TV, what's next, what's this? But when kids learn that things come from somewhere else and they have to be nurtured, and there's a certain process involved, that gives them better skills, socialization skills. I mean, what I'm really teaching is cooperation and collaboration. You know, I have solutionaries, I like to say. 30,000 pounds of vegetables later, I have kids who are going to college, aspiring to things they never imagined, trying to be creative, and that's what it's about. I mean, the kids are far better at any and all of this than I ever could be. But it's nurturing that spirit and then directing it to tools that will help them be better citizens overall. Of course, you know, getting them to vote, getting them registered to vote, getting them, you know, in communities like mine, you know, a couple hundred kids want to vote can really get people's notice. You know, taking abandoned properties and turning them into rent-generating properties gets landlords on board. We're building values. So it's very much about ABCDs, you know, the reading, writing, and arithmetic, but it's really about asset-based community development, rooted in my fundamental belief that kids should not have to leave their neighborhood to live, learn, and earn in a better way. And that, you know, right here, ground up, together, we can grow something greater.
Awesome. I think that's maybe a great ending point for us. It's such a message for every community, no matter what your resources are, no matter where you are.
Without farmers, we'd be naked and hungry. But you got to eat, you know, and everybody likes to put a seed in the ground.
And there's resources everywhere if you know how to find them.
There are tons of resources. I mean, you know, I started this program with nothing more than testicular fortitude and a dream. It was self-financed. And here we are today.
That's awesome. Well, I know you're going to be at PBL World for a couple more days.
Thrilled, delighted, and excited. Let's get your PBL on, everybody.
So we're going to keep this conversation going. If people want to connect with you, they can reach you on
Oh,
Twitter,
yes,
Facebook.
please do. Please, we have a Facebook page. Please like my kids on Facebook. Green Bronx Machine. They'll keep you posted on everything, and that's part of the magic. The kids run the Facebook page. They run the website. So I don't expect to be farmers, but I expect them to read about it, write about it, blog about it, offer outstanding customer service, and man, oh man, do they. So write to them, write to me, write to us at info@greenbronxmachine.com or info@greenbronxmachine.org. Like them on Facebook. I have a TED Talk, Stephen Ritz, Teacher Growing Green in the South Bronx. Send it to everybody, please. Hopefully I'll do a new one, but you'll get to see the power of what can happen when you eat and grow healthy food in school. You'll see a lot less of me. I'm hoping people see more of me. More people see more, but hopefully you'll notice that there's a lot less of me. And that's the power of growing and eating healthy food in school with kids.
It's awesome. It's a great message. So thanks from PBL.
Si se puede. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Si se puede.
Thanks.